What's up, besties? It's Ashley with AMCX Studio. I recently uploaded a part 1 of going through Cricut Design Space, showing you guys the things that you need to know about the program so that you can get started making money, having fun, doing whatever, just playing with your Cricut crafting machine. If you didn't check out part 1, I'm going to link that video over here in a card. I'm going to put it down there in the description. We're going to go into part 2. In part 1, I showed you everything on the toolbar. Let's scan over here so you guys can see what's going on. We went over the new, the template, the projects, the images, the text, the shapes, the upload, and now we have uploaded our images. I'm going to show you guys how you can manipulate SVG files. Once they're inside of Cricut Design Space, we're going to explore this top bar up here, and we'll probably end part 2 there, and then in part 3 we're going to mess around with the slice, weld, attach, flatten, contour, all those things. It's going to be like a bunch of small happy meals of Cricut goodness. You get like little bites, little chicken nuggets of information. So if you're interested in checking out part 1, if you want to follow for like part 3 and 4 or whatever, I don't know how long this thing's gonna go, make sure you do the things that you need to make sure that you're getting all the information. So without further ado, let's hit into part 2. I previously uploaded Show Me Your Mistletoes and Coffee and True Crime in the last video. Okay, go check that out. We're going to play with Show Me Your Mistletoes. When I designed this particular file set, I did Show Me Your Text and the second line Mistletoes in 2 different colors. If you want to change those, you can. All you have to do is ungroup it. You ungroup it by right clicking and hitting the ungroup button, or you can come over here and hit ungroup. There are a few different ways that you can achieve the same result. You do not have to do this. You don't have to, but I'm showing you anyways because I know that the question will pop up. I'm gonna hide this SVG so that I can show you. Now, when we go to make this, if we were to cut this out of vinyl and let's say we wanted to put it on a sign, when we go to hit make it, it's going to arrange everything to where Cricut thinks that like it will color coordinate it, and then it will arrange it to where it thinks that it's going to use the least amount of vinyl to help save you space. But we're not going to do that because I don't know if you saw that, but that is a hot mess. There's no way I'm going to place each of those little things individually. I don't have the time. I don't have the patience to do that. So if you want to set all of your things up, select that group and hit attach. If you have a script font, you're going to want to hit weld. I know some designers weld their fonts beforehand, other ones don't. If you run into one where it doesn't, you're going to want to hit that weld just in case. That'll make sure that all of the overlapping script bits are merged into one shape and the Cricut will cut it out as one continuous image. I'm going to attach these mistletoes. Now that these 2 text pieces are attached, we're going to hit make it and I'm going to show you the difference. So make it. Now, Show Me Your is all on one line. Everything is attached together. And mistletoes, everything is attached together. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to rearrange itself. So we're good to go when we go to cut it. I'm going to cancel so I can show you a couple of other things. So I did this with green and red. If you wanted to change it and you don't want the green and the red text, you can either swap out your vinyl colors, or if you wanted something that was a little more visual on this side, because I know that some people enjoy seeing the process and want to know for sure before they load their mat what color is going on what mat. So if you want to change this color, select the line of text or the image or the shape or whatever it is. Select that, and we're gonna go up to this operations button or this operations tools section. We're gonna hit this green button here, and you can change it to yellow. You can change this red to purple. This stuff will then change your mat colors to help you organize as you create your mats for the vinyl designs. This is not something that you have to do. If you're really good at keeping track of those things, perfect. Don't even bother messing with that. But if you're more of a visual person and you have to see those things, especially when you're cutting like a ton of vinyl projects in a day, sometimes things can get confused. I don't know if you guys have seen like the challenge where you try to say the color, but the color is actually a different word. Like the color itself is green, but the word reads red. It's something like that. So if you're not good at those types of tasks, change the colors, make it easier on yourself. It's not that big of a deal to have to do it. It's really easy to change it. I'm going to make this bigger. I know that the thing, okay, so I made it bigger. Sometimes, so the Cricut only cuts within 11.5 by 23.5 sizes. I thought I was gonna make it too big and I didn't, so it's all good. You can change the operation. Now this operation thing, this is going to take you from a straight cut to a print and cut to a scoring lines, things like that. So you've got your cut, your draw, then your print and cut. Those are the three big functions here. Your basic cut is exactly as we've already talked about, cutting it out of vinyl. The machine is gonna read, hey, this is pretty simple task, let's just cut her out. If you go to draw, this is going to play with the Cricut pins, or if you've got adapters, you can play with other pins that aren't necessarily Cricut, because Cricut materials are expensive. Let's call it what it is. Cricut knows that they can charge a premium for their items, but there are dupes out there on the marketplace. And if you're interested in knowing the best dupes, let me know and I'll make a video. But there are dupes out there on the marketplace that you can absolutely use instead. So they have pins that you can do. You can do foil. I've got a foil quill myself, and the Cricut foil thing over there. I haven't actually gotten a chance to play with it yet, and I've been really meaning to, and I cannot wait to make a video for that. You have your score features, which will take the needle or the blade, it'll cut along, breaking up the cardstock or the paper so that you can kind of fold things, and it'll also create like a really cool little outlining effect like what's shown. Anything that is this line is where the blade is going to dig into the paper or the vinyl and cut. I would not recommend doing that in vinyl. It's gonna be a mess. But paper, absolutely. The Dollar Tree placemats do that to create like a really cool like handwriting thing for little kids. You also have your print and cut. Now your print and cut is going to print from your printer and then cut on your machine. I have a video where I've explained how to do that, and I will link that down below or up here maybe. But we'll do that. Print and cut, Cricut is limited. Like Cricut limits our vinyl cuts to the 11.5 by 23.5. They limit our print and cut features to 6.75 by 9.25. So that is something to keep in mind when you're playing around with that. You're gonna want to make sure that your things are within those restraints. Let me see what else. I've gone over the edit thing. I went over the edit thing in the other video, but I'll tell you guys really quick in case you're kind of like jumping in the middle. This stuff is going to cut, copy, or paste the thing that you've selected. So if you know about keyboard shortcuts, you have the select, Control-C, Control-V, and that'll copy, and then that will paste. Just to show you an example like that. But if you don't know keyboard shortcuts, or you don't like to use the keyboard shortcuts, you can also do the edit, cut, or let me go back, edit copy, edit paste, and that will give you the same results as that keyboard shortcut, the Control C, Control V. If you select more than one item, you can use this align tool to center it horizontally, to the left, to the right, to the top, to the middle. All of those things are pretty self-explanatory. You have your arranging items. Let's say that we put these two things on top of each other. I don't know why we would do that, but let's say that we did. If we wanted to then bring it to the front, you just hit this arrange and this will send it to different spaces. If we wanted to put this on a shirt or do a reverse canvas with HTV, we're going to want to flip horizontally. This will pre-flip. You can rotate it under the make it feature. Once you hit this, you can rotate it there, but this will pre-do it so that you don't have to, so that you don't forget it. I'll show you what the flip thing looks like once you hit make it. Oh yeah, I forgot that I'd changed some things. So I'm gonna put this back to basic. We're gonna hit make it real quick, and I'm gonna show you how you can flip it once you get to this stage. Let's say we got here and we forgot, instead of hitting cancel and then flipping it there, you can hit this mirror button. This is important if you're putting this on a shirt. If you're using HTV, you want to hit that mirror, or you're gonna want to reverse it. HTV is different than the other types of vinyl that you'll use. So it's important to note that in your projects. Make sure that you're using the correct, make sure that you're using it right. You can edit your sizes here. You can make it, just type in your specific numbers. This little lock thing will lock and unlock your constraints. So if you want to keep this pretty uniform, make sure that lock button is on there. But if you want to drag it around and stretch the text, make it super skinny, things like that, unlock it, and that will give you your best, like that will allow you to achieve those results. You also have rotating. You can use these little handles here. So when you select something, you've got the 4 circles. You've got the X, this will delete it. You've got this, which will rotate it. You've got this double arrow here, which will stretch it out. And then you've got this, which is that same little lock thing where you can now stretch it like this. So if you want to play with that, the size and the rotation, you also have those same controls around the image itself. You can change the position of where everything is if you want to center it, or not center it, but if you want to put it all the way over on its x-axis, right up against the 0, you can do that by typing in 0. If you want to do all the way up at the top, you can type in 0, and that will get you to where you're positioned in the tab right in the topmost corner. We're gonna wrap it up. We talked about the top toolbar. We did the left side toolbar in the previous video, part 1. We talked about this top toolbar in part 2. We're gonna talk about everything on the right side in part 3. So if you're interested in hearing part 3, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, like this video, check out the socials over here. Let's get to part 3 right after this. Bye, guys.